Welcome back to another video. In today's we're going to be talking about this Ford tractor from the 1950s. I think it's a 9N, and let's get into it. This one has the bucket attachment on it, so it's not just a lone tractor. The bucket definitely needs work. It's bent up, out of shape. It's been used, obviously, which isn't the problem. It's not that I want to get all the bends out of it. It's that can't really see through all the weeds. But the part of the bucket itself that should be digging into the earth is dull, really, and it just won't cut into the ground anymore. I haven't used this tractor since I've got it, but I just know for a fact if I do, it wouldn't really be able to dig that much in the condition that the bucket's in currently. But well, I've worked on it a tiny bit since I got it. We were having some trouble getting it to turn over. It wouldn't turn over at all, and we read up on it. And down there, that bit of shiny metal among all the rust is what we replaced. It was a button, the starter button. That button right here in front of the shifter. You press on that and it pushes a rod into the other button down in there. It would be easier to use an electronic starter, but whatever. This one has a 4-cylinder inline, it looks like. I think on the internet it says it's a 2-liter, 2.0 liter 4-cylinder for this year, this model. That's all I can really think of. It's got a bit of rust, like actual bad rust eating through the hood. But other than that, everything else is in good shape. The bucket assembly, all of that, not a thing wrong with it really. Put some lights on it from Big R. Still need to get them wired up someday. Had some already pre-used tires put on the front because the ones it came with weren't in good condition, so I changed those out. I think the fronts have a wide 5 lug pattern, kind of like a Volkswagen Beetle. I think it's a wide 5, but it's definitely not a wheel that many people have seen before. The back tires are the same ones from when I bought this, and they're in great shape. Came with this grater attachment with it. It's hooked up to the 3-point system, and it's also seen its fair use. But you know, it'll definitely do more work. I know that. Concrete in there to weigh it down. Back when everything was simpler times. It's about like any other tractor from its time. There's not really much to say about it. So I know we got the button problem done, and it tries to turn over. I think it doesn't really have a problem with the carb. We're thinking it might be compression. It's low on compression. The engine will probably need a rebuild more than likely. With how old this tractor is, it's definitely gonna have to be rebuilt soon. So it's run for like a few seconds in the time that I've owned it. We've only got it to run for a total of a few seconds. So, and if things come to worse and it becomes expensive to rebuild this motor, I've looked at some swapping kits. There is a company on the internet. I will try and link them down in the description. But they sell an adapter plate so that you can swap these tractors. And you have a choice of a flathead Ford V8 or a 4.3 Chevy V6. And if you choose to put the flathead V8 in there, you'll end up having to extend the front of the tractor. But with the V6, it's not needed. There's also a few videos on the internet showing tractors that have been gone through these swaps. I'll try and find a couple good ones and link them down where you can watch them too. So I've thought about putting a V6 4.3 in there if needed. I don't think it would interfere with the bucket system at all. Give it a bit of power boost. But yeah, it'd be a fun tractor either way, V6 or not. I'm just hoping to one day get it going. Down here, the bucket isn't like any other bucket on modern tractors because it doesn't use a hydraulic system to move the bucket, only the arms. This one up here, this lever that I'm holding, you push down on it, that line that's moving right here goes down, comes here with this spring or springs, and then runs this rod over here to the bucket, where inside there's a little peg that hides in here and a dip down in the bucket. So once you pull that lever, gravity does the rest and takes the bucket down with it. And that's how you dump out your load. And then to put it back in place, all you do is put the arm down, press the bucket down on the ground, and then the peg should go back into its place. And hold it until you get another load and then go drop it off wherever. Now, to get the attachment on here, someone didn't bother to take the time to just unbolt the headlights that were already on here. They just took a torch to it and cut off both headlights up front. Someone was in a hurry. And up here too, up at the grill, they just cut it all up to make way for the hydraulic system. Can't blame them. The hydraulic thing has been through a lot too. It's been welded up plenty of times, it looks like. So whoever owned this before me, or the many other owners it could have had before me, I'm possibly not the second one. They definitely used this tractor for what it was intended for. And why wouldn't you? So, I'd like to get it up and working again. I don't really plan on immediately getting it painted and back to a better looking condition. It's kind of just going to be used for work for the most part. But at some point I would like to get it painted up and looking nice again. but not too nice to where I can't use it. You know what I mean? These tractors, a lot of people on the internet telling others to be careful about these older tractors because you get too much weight on the back and it tips them backwards. And there's nothing back there to protect you. I've seen some things on Amazon. I can't remember if it hooks into the 3-point or not, but it's a bar that sits up, and if your tractor rolls back, it kind of lays down on the bar instead of going all the way back. So you could try and look for one of those if you're interested. A roll bar for a tractor, I'm pretty sure, is all you have to search for. But yeah, back when tractors didn't have to be over hundreds of thousands of dollars just to go plow a field. Back when things were simple, you didn't have to take out 17 mortgages just to get a hold of one. Well, not today anyways, but just more simple times, really. Up here, under this flap, that's where your battery and gas tank are. But I've always been a sucker for the machines that, the old machines. Like the newest I'll go is about early 2000s, and that's where it cuts off. Before everything kind of just went downhill. So while I like these vehicles, there wasn't much to them. It was just manufacture it, get it out to the consumer. Should be easy enough to work on, should they have to, and the rest is history. And obviously, by it standing right in front of me today in 2024, they obviously knew what they were doing. About a 60-year-old tractor, and the most rust and problems it's seen is on the hood. Nothing else is rusting out. It's still in physical form. It's not a pile of rust somewhere in some guy's field. And it's lived. Now the exhaust on this one, it doesn't just come straight up like other tractors. Right down there is the exhaust running off of the motor. And it runs all the way back underneath the tractor, like a car. It doesn't have a stack. It actually just runs straight out the back. I don't know if you can see it in there through all the weeds. But yeah, it runs right out the back of the tractor. Right there. Which is pretty cool. Maybe put a glass pack on it or something. NASCAR boom tube. I don't know. But for now, once it gets fixed up after I catch up my other projects, it's going to be used for lifting stuff, using the blade to smooth out things, pull things, all that. It's going to be used for tractor stuff. It's not here to sit and look pretty. It's gonna work like the other models that are out there still. There's plenty of these around if you wanted one. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. They're not hard to run across. Marketplace, your local field, other farmers out there that are willing to sell theirs. There's plenty of them still around. They were pretty influential tractors, and they've stood the test of time. So if you wanted one, be my guest. Run around, go get you one. Do what you want to it. Have fun. Work with it. Do whatever. So I think that's really it that I wanted to talk about. Just be careful when using heavy machinery, obviously. Especially the ones that don't have a wider front suspension. The ones that are more tricycle-like, you got to be careful of turning in those. So God bless you wherever you are. God bless the USA. And I'll see you next time. Bye.